Hello there ladies and gentlemen, my name is Owen and welcome to a brand new video here on Blurb Osh. Now, this is a second part to this video of the DS4 and I'm going to explain a little bit. I was trying to make a video yesterday on how the DS4 went. Because it needed a new top mount, which cost 250 odd quid, but it's made a dramatic difference on the handling of the car. It feels nice and sturdy, nice and light, it's not clunky anymore, and it feels nice and tight, it's good. It's also bloody bright as well. I need to use my trellis bloody sun visor and roof for this part of the journey, because it's a very bright afternoon, which is good. Now, if you guys haven't have guessed, I've finished work for the day, and I have the luxury of driving the DS4, and I have done yesterday. Now I'll explain this first part of the video before I go on to the rest of it. Sarah needed to use or borrow my Insignia because of the boot space of it. So I drove the DS4 to work yesterday with no problems. It drove very nicely, not a problem. When I drove it home, however, it was fine up until the Gresford Hill, should we call it, that's on the bypass. Now, the car violently juddered, violently, to the point where you could feel the entire car judder. And I had every single conceivable light come up on the dashboard. I had service now, I had stop, I had brake assist malfunction, I had everything come up, and I had no power. So I'd press the accelerator, nothing would happen. I was downshifting gears because the speed was going down too, and it wouldn't speed up or anything. So I had to ditch the car on the side of the road, which there was no slip road or side road or anything to sort of stop on. I had to stop on the gravel, which was not convenient at all. It was quite scary because I had to turn the car off, and I turned it back on and I had power back, but I had every light still on the dashboard. And trying to go off from a stop when you're on gravel, it's very difficult, especially on the end of a Thursday night, well, say night, Thursday working day. So I managed to limp the car to Sainsbury's petrol station, and this happened. Well, this ain't good. I was going to make a video on this car literally today to say that the car's been fixed, the drop link and the top mount's been fixed, for it to almost kill me. So, driving on the bypass, everything's running fine, I'm jamming to the music, the car literally judders and I lose all power. I've got a parking brake symbol, brake system failure, service light and all sorts on. I had to ditch it in the gravel, and I've managed to limp it to this to Sainsbury's car park. I have no idea what's wrong with it, and I haven't got my OBD with me in this car, so I'm a bit stuck. I can't even see anything wrong with it. The belt's still there, you know. The car managed to restart and come here, and I can't see anything leaking underneath. I don't know what's going on with it. I don't see anything major failure wise, but I mean the handbrake's on, it ain't going anywhere. But yeah, pretty scary stuff. Right, I think I might know why this pipe's not even connected. I might need to have a look at that. But I don't understand, would that cause an issue? Either way, I need my car to come here so I can diagnose it before I drive it back home, otherwise I don't want this going bang. Yeah, literally, it's odd because going up that Gresford hill where this has just practically died on me, my Corsa had the same fate, and it ended up being a spark plug that kissed a cylinder, ironically in the same place. Cars, I tell you. I'm hoping it is just this beast pipe, possibly. If it is that would be okay, but it went into limp home mode, I think, and restarting the car's managed to get it moving, but I want to check it first. I don't want to break the car by just continually driving it, and secondly, I don't want it to get damaged driving it all the way back, so I've limped it here. So just wait for my car to come and I'll update you later on what's happening. Literally all the lights were on, the service lights and the brake light and everything else, but I don't want to start it until I get it checked. So waiting for my car to come to rescue me and take it from there. Cars, Jesus. Now after that, I managed to drive the car home. So what I did was I pushed on that intake pipe as far as I could push it into it as possible. Now, whilst doing that, I realised that the design of the airbox and the air pipe, it's not supposed to have a Jubilee clip on like your Vauxhalls and some other vehicles, or even a boost pipe. So it actually clips into place, and what I think has happened is the pipes come off, the air mass sensor's detected something as a malfunction, it's shut the turbo off and put the car into limp home mode. Now, if that is the case, I'm very surprised that hasn't happened earlier, because this car was serviced over a month ago. It was MOT'd about a month ago, and for it to do it now, just after we've had the top mount, and I don't think they would have had to take the airbox off to do the top mount, although they may have had to lean on it possibly. Even after the top mount, we've been driving this car and it's never had that issue. So I think it's because the pipe wasn't put on correctly, because it was just sitting there loose, to be honest with you. It was partially on and it wasn't clipped in, because when you push it in, it clips in. You can feel it clip in. So with that being said, I've driven the car to work today. Yesterday I drove to work fine. Driving it home, we'll see. And I may have said it yesterday in that clip that I made, but it's quite funny because where I broke down initially was the same place that my Corsa's cylinder 3 kissed the spark plug and broke down there. I never have good luck with the A483 because my Astra, my grey Astra, had issues and coughed and spluttered because I had the exhaust done, and that was in nearly the same place too. But also further on down this bypass, the same bypass, the A483, my Corsa's wheel bearing collapsed and I lost the wheel. So I have a bit of history with this bypass, where it'd be breaking down in the gravel in this, and losing my wheel on my Corsa, killing cylinder 3 with my Corsa, or spluttering because of a misfire because I've changed the exhaust and the ECU's fuel ratio hasn't altered or learned yet. I don't really have much luck, really, do I? Although, with that being said, I did manage to get the car moved. So the good point was I managed to get the car restarted and I drove off and I pulled somewhere safer than the side of the bypass. Because if I had to, I would have had to phone green flag to come out and tow the car away, which I have cover, which I didn't with the Corsa. But I would have been waiting there for a while and I would have had to pick the car up from a garage, which would have cost money, which currently we don't have because we've just spent a lot of money on both the cars getting them sorted, i.e. serviced and cam belt change and all sorts. So I'm glad the car is up and running, and at the moment seems to be driving fine. We're approaching where I first noticed the lack of power and the shudder. And it's quite funny because there is a runoff there on the side of the bypass there, which I could have got on if it had happened any earlier, to which it didn't. Now we're doing 70 miles an hour steadily. I'm going to put my foot down a little. We're doing alright. Steadily doing speed limits. Everything seems to be okay thus far. Now this is where I had beeping and lights galore this time yesterday, and I had to go into the gravel right on the side of the road here. Don't know how well you can see it, but I went into the gravel right about here, which was fun. Okay, so we're about 10 miles from when I just paused that video then, and everything seems to be okay. The car's still saying 248 miles of range, which means it's not using much. That's good. We're about to turn off the bypass now, and yeah, everything seems okay. So I'm quietly confident that what happened yesterday was probably the fact that the intake pipe had come off or was loose, and the air mass had probably flared something up abnormal and then put it into limp home mode. Because as soon as I put that back on and I've driven it, the lights haven't come back on since. Now, there's a tractor. This is probably going to get in my way now, isn't it? Yeah, I can feel it. It's going to get in my way now, but that's okay. Slow and steady wins the race, should we say. You can always overtake it, I suppose. That's if the car doesn't go into limp mode. Now, many is going to say that it's a French car, it's something electrical, they're common as muck for it, they're rubbish cars, they're made out of plastic and tin, you know. Why would you buy one and expect any less from it? Well, do you know what, guys? I must admit, Citroen, this car, the DS3 was an absolute pain in the arse. The DS4, however, has changed my opinions on sticking with Vauxhall, to the extent that I actually quite like driving this car. It's nice and comfortable. I would even argue that it's more comfortable to drive than the Insignia in a sense. The seats are not as hard, and I must also mention I've been struggling with my coccyx of late, where it's just so painful at the moment. And this car with its seats, it's just such a nice drive, and I feel higher up, which is also easier for me to get in and out of the car in the first place. So I must admit, it's actually pretty nice to drive. And although this little issue is causing me a little bit of hazard for concern of the car, which, to be honest with you, after driving it now and finding out what I think it was, I'm quietly confident it's nothing of great significance. I'm sure if my insignia was the same, it would have probably done the same thing. But in terms of the reliability of the car, yes, okay, it's needed some work since we got it, and luckily most of the expensive bits were done under warranty before the dealership we got it from had closed. It's been a good car, very comfortable, very good on the fuel, and although it's quite an awkward shape, it's like a hatchback stroke crossover, it fits everything we need to. It fits the pram in here very well. We can get my son in and out of the car easy, considering when we first looked at the car and heard the reviews, people were saying it's quite difficult to get a car seat in and out. It really isn't. We've taken it in and out of this car plenty of times. Now, if this car in front has room to overtake, I also think it's good on that point too. Give it some throttle, overtaking the tractor with ease. And I must admit, this engine's output of performance, power wise, is less than the Insignia, yet it feels quicker, probably because it's a slightly lighter car. Anyways, enough of me talking. Let's see if we make it to the garage where the Vectra's at, should we say. Let's see if the car makes it there without a hitch. I think it will. I'll see you there. We've made it. The car has made it, and with 285 miles still on the range. No lights bar the seatbelt and the handbrake light, but all is good. So guys, we made it home. The car got home perfectly fine. So I suppose that concludes this video then, that the top mount is fixed. We've had 2 drop links that have been replaced, and the issue relating to it jumping into limp mode must have been that intake pipe. So now that's all clipped back in, I think the car is fine. So we'll keep you updated anyways whether the car comes back with the same problem again. However, I have a strong suspicion that it won't. And that's because it never did it again. And if it did it again on the journey that I've taken it today, which is going from when I put the pipe back on at the garage, driving it home, going to work this morning, going all the way to the garage, and then coming back home again, if it's not done it again, then it must be perfectly fine. So we'll keep you updated with that one. But anyways guys, that's the end of this video today. If you like this video, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and stay safe.